Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is the part 2 of making of this dress. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I drafted the collar, the sleeve and the cutting of the fabric. So guys, if you have not watched the first video, I'm going to drop the link in the description box below. You can go check it out, and also the last video. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So without wasting much time, let's jump right into the tutorial. Starting with the drafting of the round collar, I'm going to get the upper front pattern and the upper back pattern. So the first thing you're going to do is to fold the half inch we added for the joining of the shoulder. So just like the way I'm doing, you're going to fold in the half inch you added on the shoulder area. You're folding this in because you're going to join the shoulder before sewing the collar to your neckline. So you're just going to fold it in. You're going to fold the shoulder in like this, and you're going to place it together like this, making sure that the neck aligns together. Then you're going to use your masking tape to hold this down. The next thing I'm going to do is to determine how wide I want the collar to be. So I wanted mine to be 2.5 inches wide. So I'm going to be placing my tape on the half inch I marked for the turning of the neckline. So placing my tape on that half inch I marked for the turning of the neckline, I'm going to measure downwards 3.5 inches. So as you can see, I started marking from the 1 inch line that I drew for the zipper allowance. That means that zipper allowance is not included. The wideness of this collar is 2.5 inches, but I'm going to be adding extra 1 inch, making it 3.5 inches. So the 1 inch is for the joining of the collar to the neckline, and the other half inch is for turning the collar on the bottom part. So I'm going to mark the 3.5 inches all the way around to the center front. After marking the 3.5 inches round, I'm going to turn to the center front of this pattern. On that point where I marked 3.5 inches, I'm going to come in by 1 inch or 1.5 inches depending on how wide you want the gap to be. While I was drafting this pattern, I marked half inch, but when I was sewing it, I realized that the gap was too close, so I had to make it 1.5 inches. So after marking the 1.5 inches, I'm going to use my ruler to connect from center front neckline to the 1.5 inches with a slanted line. Afterwards, I'm going to connect the 3.5 inches that I marked. After connecting, I'm going to get a plain pattern paper and I'm going to place it under this pattern paper, and I'm going to use my tracing wheel to trace this out just like the way I'm doing in the video. So after tracing it, you're going to remove the front pattern paper and you're going to use your pencil to label the front and the back part so you won't be confused. After marking the front and the back part, you're going to add half inch on the zipper side. You're going to add half inch for turning on the zipper side, and also half inch on the center front for turning of the collar. After adding the half inch, you're going to cut it out, and that is all for the drafting of the round collar. Now for the second long collar, you're going to get your center front pattern. From the center front neckline, you're going to come in by 1 inch. Come in by 1 inch from the center front neckline. I'm going to come down by 8 inch for the length of the first collar. You're going to make a mark at that 8 inches. Then on that point, you're going to come in by 1.5 inches. Then you're going to connect the 1.5 inches to the 1 inch you marked on the neckline. Then the length of the second one is 10 inches. That is 2 inch more than the first one. So you're going to mark 10 inches and you're also going to connect it to the 1 inch you marked from the center front neckline. After connecting it, you're going to get a plain pattern paper, place it underneath the center front pattern, and you're going to trace the collars out just like the way I'm doing it in the video. After tracing it, you're going to remove the front pattern paper and you're going to add half inch around the one you traced. That is on this paper, plain paper. You're going to add a half inch round for joining of the collar, because each of this collar is going to have two pieces when I'm cutting it. So just add half inch round and you're going to use your scissors to cut this out. So the next thing I'm going to be drafting is the bishop sleeve. So the first thing I'm going to measure is the full length of my sleeve. I'm adding extra 2 inches to the actual sleeve length because this sleeve is a puffy sleeve. So I'm adding extra 2 inches to the length of this sleeve. So after marking the full length of your sleeve, you're going to determine the armhole measurement, and to do this what you do is to bring the upper front piece and the upper back pattern, place it, fold the shoulders together, the allowance you added for the joining of the shoulders together, and you are going to place it together like this, and you're going to take the armhole measurement round just like the way I'm doing in the video. This is to give you the exact armhole measurement you're going to be using for the drafting of the sleeve. So just measure your armhole like this. So after taking the round measurement, you're going to place your tape on the tip of your pattern paper and you're going to measure downwards to 4 inches. This 4 inches is where the armhole is going to lie. I'm going to divide the armhole measurement by 2 and then put it in the 4 inches line that I marked. Then I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to use my curved ruler to connect it like this. After connecting with the curve, I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect from that 4 inches down to the full length like this. You're going to mark it straight down. You're not inputting any measurement because this is not a fitted sleeve. This is a puffy sleeve. So you're just going to mark it straight and cut it out. Then on the wrist part, you're going to minus 2.5 inches for the band. After minusing the 2.5 inch, you're going to cut this out and you're going to be slashing open this sleeve because the wideness was not enough. I wanted the sleeve to be to be more fuller, so that was why I did splash and spread method. So we're going to draw 2 lines like this across and you're going to slash it open with your scissors, then get another paper, place it underneath, and you're going to use a masking tape to hold it together, and then you're going to cut it out just like the way I'm doing in the video. After masking it, I measured it and it was about 14.5 inches, which is okay. So that is all for the drafting of this bishop sleeve. I'm going to be cutting all my patterns on my fabric. So I'm going to fold my fabric into two and place my pattern on it. Then I'm going to be adding ½ inch on the half length for the joining of the upper and the lower part. That is all. That is the only place I'm adding allowance. Every other allowance has been added on the pattern already. So just add ½ inch on the half length and you're going to cut exactly as it is on the pattern. And make sure you secure it with your office pin before cutting to avoid shifting while cutting. So I was on cutting the back and the front pattern. So I'm going to be cutting the sleeve and the collar pattern now. So I'll fold my fabric into two, place my sleeve pattern on it, and I'm going to be cutting exactly the same. I'm not adding any allowance to this. It's going to be exactly the same as the pattern. So I was on cutting the first sleeve. I'm going to fold my fabric into two and place the So I was not cutting the first sleeve. I'm going to fold my fabric into two and I'll cut the second sleeve. And I'm also going to cut the bind. For the round collar, I'm going to fold my fabric into four because it's going to be four pieces. Two pieces will be for the lining, while the other two is going to be the main fabric. While the long collar, I'm going to be cutting it into two pieces each. So just watch closely and see how I did the cutting for each of them. Also remember, you're not adding any allowance because I've added all the allowance on the pattern paper. All you just need to do is to fold your fabric, place it, pin it and cut it out. So I was done cutting the collars. I'll go ahead now and cut the facing for the front and the back piece, and that'll be for this tutorial. If you find this video helpful, please like and drop a comment. Don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. I'm going to be dropping the link on how I joined these pieces together, so please do well to click on the link in the description box to see the last part of how I made this outfit. Thanks for watching. Bye.